My mom always told me, you can't take it with you when you leave this world, so I'ma take a little with me. And I know that life, it ain't easy for us, but when I was a kid, I learned about Tucson. All the way from the north, way down to the south. My heart is where I live, my soul's in the southwest. And if you didn't know, well, now you know, and now you know, and now you know. I'ma break it down for you. Unity in the community, and we all wanna live, we all wanna thrive, instead of survive in the name of together. We are one people, and we gotta get it back. Yeah, we need to unite Tucson. We gotta take back our right to be safe. We gotta be safe out here, y'all. We are one team to live together in one American dream. In the name of together, we are one people. We are one team to live together in one American dream. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people. In the name of together, we are one people.
Together we are one people. In the name of together we are one people. In the name of together we are one people. In the name of together we are one people. In the name of together we are one people. In the name of together we are one people.
We need to unite Tucson. We gotta take back our right to be safe. We gotta be safe out here, y'all. We are one team to live together in one American dream. In the name of together, we are one people. We are one team to live together in one American dream. In the name of together, we are one people. We are one people. We are one people.
Well, we need to unite Tucson. We gotta take back our right to be safe. We gotta be safe out here, y'all.
We are one team to live together in one American dream. In the name of together, we are one people. We are one people. We are one.
recusals, Judge. I do think he's going to bring Lopez Perez and Ormsby right now.
Okay, sounds good.
It's Lopez Perez. You're going to be first.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Del Mariana Lopez Perez.
All right. So, ma'am, you're here for a review hearing on a matter, an out-of-county matter that is basically, acting as a hold. It looks like you have a local matter, of course, and that is, I show that set for a case management conference at the end of the month on Halloween in Superior Court. So what we're going to do, ma'am, is we're going to set a review hearing. We're going to continue this review hearing to November 17th at 9 o'clock in the morning, just to kind of track and see what's going on with the local matter and make sure that once the local matter is resolved, that you have in fact found your way back to Bisbee to take care of the other case. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Have a good rest of your day.
This one.
And good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
It's Crystal Onsby.
So, ma'am, I don't know if you just heard what I told Ms. Lopez Perez, but you're in a similar situation in the sense that you have a local case in Superior Court. Looks like that's set for a case of that. We're going to set a review hearing on this matter, ma'am, on November 17th, 9 o'clock in the morning, to ensure that, that essentially once the local matter is resolved one way or the other, that you get taken back to Maricopa County. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, as well.
Thanks.
Ah. You got it.
Service leaders. Oh, is it again? I'm gonna give you this.
Thank you. First time on Brown Sugar Bus. Outside.
Good morning, sir.
Hey,
Could you please tell me your full name?
Reynaldo Garcia.
Right, sir, this is your initial appearance. You've been charged with some new offenses, 3 counts of disorderly conduct alleged to be acts of domestic violence, 1 other count that it alleges assault, also an act of domestic violence, sir. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you, sir. I am going to release you, sir, on your promise to appear, but with certain conditions, and I need you to follow those. Are you willing to do that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so these conditions include that you are to possess no firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence. You are to have no contact with the alleged victims, so that is Mirna Leba. And additionally, you are not to return to the victim's residence or place of work. So I do have a question for you, sir. I'm assuming that the victim's residence is a shared residence. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
All right. So what you need to do is stay away from there in the short term. That condition may change as early as your next court date. However, for today's sake, sir, you're not allowed to go back there. However, if you do have belongings at the residence that you need to get in the meantime, You are allowed to do that. However, you must return with a police escort, okay? And there's a process for completing that. So if you contact the Miranda Police Department, they should be able to assist and provide that escort for you. Are you willing to follow those conditions, sir?
Yes.
Then you are excused unless you have any other questions for me, sir.
No.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Judge, do we need an next court date for him?
Yes. I knew I was forgetting something. The next court date is going to be an arraignment. That's going to be up at Marana City Court on December 3rd, 10 o'clock in the morning, sir. Thank you very much. You are excused.
Say?
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning,
Could you please tell me your name?
Dawn Hayes.
All right. All right, Miss Hay, you were here this morning on an initial appearance. Looks like you have a matter out of justice court. So you have the right to remain silent, ma'am, as it relates to this case. The charge appears to involve some sort of violation of failing to stop a vehicle. So what we're going to do, ma'am, is it looks like you may have another hold in another jurisdiction. However, be that as it may, I'm going to release you on this case, ma'am. And so your next hearing is going to be a CMC, a case management conference at 9:30 in the morning. And that's going to be on Monday, November 3rd at 9:30, as I said, and that's going to be in Pima County Justice Court. Okay, so if you're in custody, ma'am, you will be transported for that hearing. And if you're out of custody, ma'am, you must come to Justice Court 9:30 in the morning on November 3rd. That's a Monday morning. And if you fail to appear, ma'am, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. You are excused.
Court date, you're being held for now. He can't do anything about it.
When do they come get me?
James Johnson.
All the way.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson. This morning is your initial appearance, and so you have been charged with one count that involves an allegation of failing to comply with a court order, sir. And
I'm sorry, sir.
it's all right. You're presumed innocent on that, sir. And so, just a moment. And that failure to comply, sir, is alleged to have been an act of domestic violence. So, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. And sir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold you on a bond. It's going to be a $500 bond. And that is going to be a cash or secured bond, sir. I'm setting your next hearing as a case management conference in Sahuarita Municipal Court. And that's going to be on October 28th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sir. In the event that you find yourself out of custody, if you're able to post that bond, you are ordered not to have any firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence, have no contact with the alleged victims, and not to go back to the alleged victim's residence and or place of work. Given that I am holding you on a bond, sir, I am going to appoint an attorney.
Sir, I haven't been to her residence or place of work, nothing.
I'm sorry, sir.
I haven't been anywhere. I've been in the hospital for the last month with cancer.
Thank you very much. Sir, I'm going to appoint Attorney Gary Grinkowicz to represent you on this case, sir. And we are also setting, as I said, that case management conference. It's going to be later this month, about 12 days from now. And so, sir, again, if you do find yourself out of custody, you post that bond, remember, please have no contact with the alleged victims. Do not return to the alleged victim's residence or place of work. And that's all I have for you this morning, sir.
Next court date. Brianna Leonard.
Thanks.
Hi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could you please tell me your name?
Brianna Leonard. Brianna Unique Leonard.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, I've seen you on a few matters this morning. Some matters out of city court, some matters out of justice court. So as it relates to city court, ma'am, well, I'm going to start with justice court. The justice court allegations involve new charges of disorderly conduct, one of which is alleged to be an act of domestic violence. Another count of disorderly conduct that is not alleged to be an act of domestic violence. There's actually 3 counts of that. And then finally, 1 count of assault, not alleged to be an act of domestic violence. All these allegations are from yesterday. Additionally, ma'am, I'm seeing you on some warrants out of Tucson City Court and Pima County Justice Court as well. So as it relates to the new arrest, ma'am, I'm gonna hold you on a bond of $500, just given the variety of matters that you have going on and the failure to appear history that appears you have. That's a $500 cash or secured bond, ma'am. And the first case that I'm talking to you about is a case out of Pima County Justice Court that alleges shoplifting allegations. As to that case, ma'am, I'm setting a $500 bond. And so additionally, if you do find yourself out of custody, ma'am, you are ordered not to go back to that incident location. I'm appointing Attorney Robin Ald to represent you going forward on this. The next hearing, ma'am, on that case will be an in custody pretrial hearing tomorrow, the 17th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so that takes care of that first one. And then moving on, we have some city court matters, as I mentioned.
Yes.
Sorry. You. Okay, so
Yes.
as to the city court matters, ma'am, one of them is a new case that you have not been seen on yet that alleges that you committed an act of disorderly conduct and assault. This is alleged to have occurred back in March of 2024. As to that, I'm sorry, just a second. Yeah, just a second. It's the one from yesterday. My mistake on that. So I'm sorry. The case that you are being seen on for the first time, ma'am, is alleged to have occurred yesterday on the 15th. That involves allegations of, as I said earlier, some disorderly conduct, 1 count of which is alleged to be an act of domestic violence. On that case, I'm going to hold you on a $1,000 bond. I'm going to set a video review on October 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be in front of Judge Million. That $1,000 bond is a cash or secured bond, ma'am. You are additionally ordered to possess or consume no alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, and you're to have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, who is alleged to be Terrence McClare and the it looks like a couple minor children. Additionally, ma'am, you are ordered not to return to the victim's residence or the incident location. However, if you do find yourself out of custody, ma'am, you may return to that residence one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal belongings if you have the need to do that. Finally,
Yes.
because I'm holding you on a bond, ma'am, I am appointing the city public defender to represent you as to that matter. And if you need more information on returning to the property to receive personal belongings and so forth, you should be able to get more information on that either at the jail or from the Tucson Police Department. Okay.
Yes, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
So, uh, well, so I'm not gonna be able to get out?
Unfortunately not, unless you're able to post that bond. Just based on some of the failure to appear history and the new allegations, I have decided to hold you on a bond, ma'am.
Can I say something else, sir?
Yes, as long as it doesn't have anything to do with the facts of the case. And I will let you know that I have made up my mind as it relates to the bond. So I don't know if that changes your mind on asking another question.
No, I just wanted to say that, like, I have two kids at home with autism that I have to take care of. And it's like, I don't know what to do. They can't live without me. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that I have made mistakes, and I know that I'm really a good mom, and I may have made mistakes, but please can't be away from my babies. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I've been going through a lot. It's just a lot, and everything is just getting put on me like this, and it's just like I just don't know what to do. Like, it's like, is there any way, like anything, like I could do? Just I could be with my babies, like please. Like I don't know what to do.
Ma'am, unfortunately, I am sorry to hear that. I do sympathize with that for sure, but I have made my mind up, ma'am, given your history of failing to appear on other cases and so forth. But I wish you luck getting all these matters resolved going forward, okay?
Okay. So am I like looking like a lot of time? Like what's
Well,
happening?
so the short answer is, well, it depends what you mean on a lot of time. There that may be able to answer some of this. You are getting attorneys appointed on both of the matters because you are being held on a bond. So you're going to have a good attorney that's going to be able to help you out, answer a lot of these questions, ma'am. But there are certain penalties that run with these types of cases. However, because they're all misdemeanors, it would involve at most jail time. Okay.
Okay. I wouldn't mind taking probation or.
Well, and ma'am, that's perfectly
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No, you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
You're right. No need to apologize. Please just talk with your attorney about that, ma'am. And they can help you figure out hopefully as good of a resolution as they can manage. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day. You're welcome.
So you have an attorney on your justice court case, Robin, and you have an attorney on the city court case too. They'll be able to answer questions about jail, about probation, what Hold on a second. You have two bonds. Okay? So you have $1,000 bond on the city court case, and $500 bond on the justice court case.
Mhm.
Don't post one unless you can post both, because they're going to hold you here unless you can post both. Give your attorneys a call. They have some paperwork for you. Okay?
Wait. So what's happening? Like
You're going to your attorneys all the information for you. And you're going to go to court. You have court tomorrow. Okay?
I know, but like
That's when you'll meet up. Okay?
my I just don't.
The last is. You're up.
Morning, sir. Could you please tell me what you think?
Samuel Thomas Velazquez.
All righty. Good morning, Mr. Velasquez. I'm going to talk to you about some new matters that you're here on this morning. Give me just a second, please.
Yeah, I got kicked out of ILP. I'm still sober though.
We like to hear that. That is good, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
so sir, I'm seeing you on some new matters out of both Justice Court and City Court. The Justice Court matters, we'll start there. That alleges that you failed to appear, sir, in relation to a shoplifting allegation that is alleged to have occurred.
That's a main shop.
And sir, I must advise you, I should have told you this earlier, but you have the right to remain silent, sir, as it relates to any of the matters that you're being seen before the court on. So anything you say about these cases could be used against you, sir. So I would just advise you not to mention anything that you may or may not think about those cases. Additionally, sir, you have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings during this in these cases. If you cannot afford an attorney, one may be appointed for you. However, And that's actually what I am going to do because you are going to be held given the number of matters going on, sir. But let me work through them. So the first thing I have is that shoplifting allegation out of Pima County Justice Court. And so that, sir, alleges that you failed to appear concerning shoplifting allegations that occurred back on June 8th of this year. As to that case, sir, I'm going to hold you on a $250 cash or secured bond. And I'm going to order that if you do post that bond, sir, find yourself out of custody, you are ordered not to possess any firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, do not return to the incident location, sir. And then because I am holding you as to that case, sir, I am appointing attorney Robin Ald, AULD, to represent you. You'll get paperwork, sir, that explains who he is and his contact information. As to that case, I'm going to set an in-custody pretrial review hearing tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Pima County Justice Court. So you'll probably be seen by video for that, sir, in the event that you are still in custody. That takes care of that.
I'm going to trial for that.
No, sir. It's just, it's basically a hearing it's kind of a status hearing to see what's going on with the case. You may be able to take a plea agreement. You still have the right to go to trial if you want to do that. All of those rights still exist, sir. Okay, and then as to the other matter that alleges new charges alleged to be criminal trespass in the third degree and shoplifting. This is all alleged to have happened last night about 9:30 in the evening. I'm going to hold you on a $250 bond as it relates to that case as well, sir. And so, again, your next hearing will be a pretrial tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Pima County Justice Court. That takes care of that. And then we're going to move on to your city court matter, sir. Have a few files for you out of city courts. They include allegations of, these are older cases for the most part, criminal trespass in the second degree, criminal trespass in the third degree, possession of drug paraphernalia, theft by control, multiple counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to hold you on a $250 bond as it relates to these cases, sir. That's going to be a cash or secured bond. Sir, if you find yourself out of custody, you are again ordered to possess or consume no alcoholic beverages.
He's talking to you.
Possess no firearms or weapons. Do not go back to the incident location. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you, sir. Your next hearing will be on October 24th at 1:45 in the afternoon. And so that takes care of that. Sir, you are going to get an attorney appointed to represent you. One attorney for the city court matters and another attorney for the justice court matter. So you'll have an opportunity to speak with them, figure out the best path going forward, sir. And so that is all I have for you this morning. Anything further from council? Get on.
No, Your Honor, we're good. Thank you.
Nope.
That. You. There you go. You. Yeah. What?
Did he have a two people?
That's right. I did. Yes.
Yes.
Tiny little boxes.
I know.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Marlena Danchu?
All right. Good morning, Miss Danchu. This is your initial appearance, ma'am. You have been charged with 2 counts alleged to be acts of domestic violence. One of them is a threatening or intimidating charge, and the other is an assault charge. You, ma'am, have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm actually going to appoint one for you. So, ma'am, what I'm going to do is, given the information before the court, I'm going to hold you on a bond of $500 on the city court matter. And that means that you're going to have a hearing on October 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be a video review in front of Judge Millian. In the event that you, first of all, that's a cash or secured bond. So it's not, a secured method would be fine as well. Ma'am, if you do find yourself out of custody, you are ordered not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages, commit no further acts of domestic violence. possess no firearms or weapons, and have no contact of any kind with Timothy Danju, who's alleged to be the victim in this case. Additionally, ma'am, you are ordered not to go back to the victim's residence or the incident location. I'm assuming that victim's residence is a shared residence. So what I'm going to do, ma'am, is I'm going to permit you to return with law enforcement one time to retrieve personal belongings if you have the need to do that. So the condition could potentially be relaxed later about not going back to the incident location, but for now, that is my order. You can go back there once with law enforcement. Because I am holding you on that $500 bond, ma'am, I am appointing the city public defender to represent you. And that's all that I have for you this morning, okay? Have a good day.
Church split here.
Rubino.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Could you please tell me your name?
Rubino.
All right. Sir, this is your initial appearance. You have been charged with 3 counts, two of which are acts of alleged to be acts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and then criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. Finally, you have a count of possession of drug paraphernalia. It looks like you may have additional matters that are pending out of Pima County Superior Court as well, sir. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. Additionally, sir, because I'm actually going to release you on this case, sir. And so for that reason, I'm going to set your next hearing on October 23rd, 2025 at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be an out of custody hearing in front of, well, if you are out of custody, which you should be, because I don't think the other cases are holding you. That'll be in front of Judge Million at Tucson City Court, sir. You are ordered not to drive without a valid license, possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, possess no firearms or weapons, commit no further acts of domestic violence, have no contact of any kind with the victim who appears to be Shelly Gavino. I believe that's your mother, sir. And so additionally, you are not permitted to go back to the victim's residence or place of work. And so I believe that that covers it. Even though I am releasing you, sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you on that city court matter. It's going to be the city public defender's office. That will just help keep track of what's going on in Superior Court versus what's going on in city court and so forth. So, sir, one other thing I want to do is, because this is your initial appearance on new charges, I also want to arraign you on those charges. It's also the time for your arraignment on the city court charges I mentioned to you, sir. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed innocent of those charges. If you find yourself out of custody, which you should, if you fail to appear at the next hearing I have set, and then any other hearing that may come up in the city court case, including trial, can go forward in your absence, sir. If you are convicted at the trial and cannot be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all that, sir?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, and you're going to get paperwork that explains a fair amount of this as well. It gives you the next court date and so forth. But that's all that I have for you this morning, sir. So you are excused.
All right.
So that's from the city court, Jake. Make sure you call your attorney for Superior Court, so your other needs have.
Thanks for returning to this one, to this area.
It's the city public defender. They haven't. You're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. It's myself. You get there? Okay. Good. Sorry about that, Your Honor. I'm in a wheelchair right now.
No problem, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
My name is Paul Gabriel Howard Jr.
All right, just a moment, sir. So, Mr. Howard, I am seeing you this morning on new charges that are all alleged to be acts of domestic violence. It looks like 2 potential incidents are alleged. And so give me just a moment, sir, and I'll get back with you. Okay, so the first incident alleges 1 count of disorderly conduct and assault, alleged to be acts of domestic violence from October 12th. The newer of the two cases alleges the exact same thing alleged to have occurred earlier today, sir. So, just a moment. So, sir, given that we have, and let me back up slightly here, sir. So, you have the right to remain silent, sir. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You also have the right to have an attorney represent you, sir. I'm actually going to appoint an attorney for you because I'm going to hold you on a relatively low bond. The reason why I'm doing that, sir, is because you've got multiple new domestic violence cases that you're being seen on. As to the domestic violence allegation, sir, I'm going to hold you on a $500 bond. That's going to be a cash or secured bond. I'm going to set your next hearing for October 22nd. At 1:30 in the afternoon. And that's going to be in front of Judge Million. And additionally, sir, in the event that you post that bond, you find yourself out of custody, you are ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, who is alleged to be Miss Burgess, Ashley Burgess, or Burgess.
So I'm sorry, Your Honor, if I may address the court. You said I had two different charges and new charges. What was that, sir?
Yeah, so
If you don't mind me asking.
yes, no, you're fine. You're fine. Happy to tell you again. There are two new cases who have happened on the 12th, which would be on Sunday, and that alleges one count of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, one count of domestic violence assault, and the new case from this morning alleges the exact same thing, but it just is a separate incident. So that accounts for the two allegations, sir. And you are, of course, presumed innocent of these. So, it's just an allegation at this point, sir. It's going to be the state's burden to prove that guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And so what I am ordering is what I've already said. And then also, you, sir, as I said a moment ago, are to have no contact with Ashley Burgess. And that means having no return to the victim's residence or workplace, and also no return to the incident location. Sir, I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you on this case because I am holding you on that bond. And I believe that that is it. I am going to also, because you're going to be seen for an arraignment in city court, I'm not going to do the arraignment this morning, sir. And so that covers it. Thank you very much, sir. You are excused. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Rosalie Salcido.
All right, thank you very much. Give me just a moment. Ms. Salcido, I am seeing you on new charges, all three of which are alleged to have occurred yesterday. And it's actually 4 charges, all of which are alleged to have occurred yesterday, all of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. That includes 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 1 count of criminal damage, and 1 count of domestic violence assault. And so give me just a moment. You, ma'am, have the right to remain silent as it relates to these charges. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. Additionally, let me just take a look here real quick. You also have the right to be appointed an attorney or retain an attorney if you'd like. I'm not going to appoint one this morning, ma'am, because it's the court's inclination to release you so long as you follow certain specific conditions that I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to go over them with you, and then I'm going to ask you if you're willing to do that, because if you're willing to do that, I will let you out this morning. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So Okay, so ma'am, the conditions are that you are to possess or consume no alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims, and this specifically includes Michael Weigel, who appears to be your boyfriend. And then additionally, ma'am, you are not to return to the victim's residence or the incident location. If that is a shared residence, and I would imagine that it might be, and you have personal belongings that you need to get from there, you're allowed to go back to that location, but you must have a law enforcement escort before you do that, ma'am. And so, are you willing to follow all of those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, in light of your willingness to follow that and the other information before the court, I am going to release you on this case, ma'am. And so your next hearing is going to be a arraignment in front of Judge Million, and that's going to be on November 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon, ma'am, in Tucson City Court. Okay, you're going to get paperwork that explains this, and that's all that I have for you today, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Salinas?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Could you please tell me your name?
Deborah Mariah Salinas.
All right. Ms. Salinas, this is your initial appearance. You're charged with 2 counts, both of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. The first one is a disorderly conduct fighting. The other one is domestic violence assault, both alleged to have occurred yesterday. Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. Additionally, you have the right to an attorney in this case. Well, you have the right to go hire an attorney if you want. I'm not going to appoint one for you because I'm going to release you on this matter today, ma'am. But with certain conditions, I'm going to talk with you about them briefly, and I need to make sure that you're willing to follow those. And if you are, I will let you out. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Give me just a moment.
They take me there from here to get my car.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm going to go over these conditions now. Your order not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. You are to have no contact of any kind with Jamie Duran. And additionally, you are not to return to the incident location. I did not include Caleb Duran on that because he is okay with further contact. So this simply relates to Jamie. She was unsure whether or not she was interested in further contact. So until and unless the court order changes, you must have no contact with her. Because I'm releasing you, I'm not going to appoint an attorney. However, your next court date is going to be on November 17th, 9:30 in the morning in front of Judge Mayhew at Tucson City Court. Also, ma'am, this is also the time for your arraignment on the new city court charges that I just spoke with you about. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You're presumed innocent. If you fail to appear at a future hearing on this case, that hearing and any other hearings on the case, including trial, can go forward in your absence. If you are convicted at the trial and you cannot be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to appeal that decision. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. You're going to get paperwork that explains this. That's it. Have a good day.
One thing on this matter, Your Honor,
yeah.
Miss Salinas was staying with Caleb and Jamie. Is she allowed to return and continue residing there?
Just a moment. Thank you. At this time, the answer is no. So what you can do, ma'am, is you can file a motion in city court to try and get that condition relaxed. But for today's sake, I'm gonna order that you, not go back to that residence. So that's the way it is for today, but you might be able to get that changed in the near future, okay? All right, have a good day.
Let's go get ready to go.
Before you.
If they're released.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, sorry. Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name? All right, a moment. Yeah. Oh, Ms. Warrior, I've seen you on charges. Both alleged to be acts of domestic violence from August 28th, 2025. That one of which alleges assault as an act of domestic violence and the other is disorderly conduct. So just a moment, ma'am. All right, ma'am, I am inclined to release you on this case. If you're willing to follow certain conditions, I'm going to talk to you about them. Then I'm going to ask you if you're willing to do that, okay?
Okay.
All right, so ma'am, I'm going to order that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, you commit no acts of domestic violence, you possess no firearms or weapons, and that you have no contact of any time with Miss Warrior, Sayana Warrior. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Her input as to whether or not she was okay with contact could not be gotten before this morning's hearing. So because of that, I'm going to order for now that you have no contact with Sayana Warrior. But that could potentially be changed down the road. But for today's sake, that is a court's order. And then, ma'am, you are also ordered not to return to the incident location. And so are you willing to follow those terms and conditions, ma'am?
Two things. One, she has my keys, so I have to go talk to her to get my keys in my house.
Yeah.
And two, my daughter lives right next to her.
And ma'am, I'm sorry to hear that, but one thing I haven't said that may help with that particular issue is that you are allowed to go back to well, do you have a shared residence?
They're right next door to
Right
each
next
other. She's the same resident,
Okay.
technically.
Okay, what I'm going to order, ma'am, in light of that is that that you are allowed to go back to your residence, but you are not allowed to have any contact with her. Okay, do you understand that? So you're allowed to go back to your residence next door, not allowed to have any contact with her. I know that that's kind of a, it might be a little tricky, but given the information before the court, that seems to be the appropriate way to handle it. So that's what I'm going to do. And ma'am, additionally, your next hearing is going to be a pretrial hearing, and that's going to be on November 17th, 2025, 10 o'clock in the morning in Tucson City Court. You're going to get paperwork that explains this, ma'am, but your next hearing is going to be on November 17th, 10 o'clock in the morning. Additionally, ma'am, on the charges that I just spoke with you about, this is also the time for your arraignment on those charges. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed innocent as it relates to these charges, ma'am. And if you fail to appear at the next hearing that I've set or any future hearings on this case, the case can go forward in your absence. That could include trial. And if you're convicted at that trial, ma'am, cannot be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand that? Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry. Okay, and I've just written in on the minute entry, ma'am, the paperwork that you're going to get that specifically it is okay for you to return to your own residence, okay? So that should be resolved. Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a good day.
Sorry.
Hi,
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Lisa Botari.
All right, just a moment. All right, Ms. Batari, this is your initial appearance. You are being seen on charges that allege different acts of domestic violence. There are three counts from October 11th and one count from yesterday. The three counts from October 11th are domestic violence, disorderly conduct, criminal damage, and assault. The count from yesterday is that you failed to comply with a court order, again, alleged to be an act of domestic violence. You, ma'am, have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these cases could be used against you. Additionally, just a moment. Ma'am, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you on this matter because I'm going to hold you as it relates to this case. And I'm going to hold you, ma'am, on a $500 bond. That you post, that's going to be a cash or secured bond, ma'am. In the event that you post that bond, I'm going to impose certain additional requirements, and that is that you possess and consume no alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, and have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims, who are alleged to be your mother, Deidre, and your sister, Amy.
Okay,
And then additionally, not to return to the incident location or the victim's residence.
okay.
And so I'm writing that in now. And I am appointing the city public defender to represent you, ma'am. Your next hearing is going to be a pre-trial hearing. And that's going to be on, I'm sorry, holding her. Got it, sorry. Might be my mistake on that. Your next hearing, ma'am, is actually going to be a video review. And that's going to be on October 23rd at 1:45 in the afternoon. And that's going to be in front of Judge Blue at Tucson City Court.
Okay,
So additionally, ma'am, I must advise you that this is also the time set for your arraignment on the new city court charges. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf as it relates to these charges. You are presumed innocent. However, I must advise you, ma'am, if you fail to appear at the next hearing or any future hearings on these cases, that hearing and even trial could go forward in your absence. If you're convicted at that trial, ma'am, and cannot be sentenced within 90 days of that conviction, you could lose your right to a direct. Do you understand that?
yes, and one question,
Yes.
do you know that I was just released, like 4 days ago from here?
Okay.
Is that apparent to you? Is that, do you know that already?
I did not, I was not aware of that, ma'am. I'm seeing you on the new charges, one of which involves allegations that occurred yesterday, reference a failure to comply with a court order. So
I don't know who called the cops. It wasn't my mom or my sister.
well, I don't know that either, ma'am, and now's not really the time to talk about that.
Okay.
You are going to have the city public defender appointed to represent you. So you're going to have somebody that's going to be appointed to help you out with this, ma'am, and I'd encourage you to speak
Okay.
with them about the allegations, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
Taylor?
Yeah, that's fine. It's all good. All good. Good morning.
Morning,
Can you please tell me your name?
Amanda Taylor.
Moments. Ms. Taylor, I'm seeing you on new charges that allege one count of disorderly conduct alleged to be an act of domestic violence. This is your initial appearance, ma'am. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. And so give me just a moment, please. It does also appear, I'm not seeing you on these matters today. However, it does appear that you also have 3 misdemeanor matters in Tucson City Court, 2 of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. So what I'm going to do, ma'am, as it relates to the new arrest, is to hold you on a $500 bond as it relates to that case, just given the number of matters that you have going on at once. Most of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. That's going to be a $500 bond, as I said. Ma'am, in the event that you are released, you post that bond and you're released, you're ordered to possess no firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence. You're to have no contact with the alleged victims and not go back to the alleged victim's residence or place of work. Because I am holding you on that $500 bond, ma'am, I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. His name is Robin Ald, and you're going to get information on the paperwork that has his contact information and so forth. And so you will have that, ma'am, in just a moment here. And that's it, I believe. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Michael Espinosa.
Alrighty, Mr. Espinoza. Sir, this is your initial appearance. You have been arrested on new charges that allege that you possessed a narcotic drug for sale, possessed marijuana for sale, and that you possessed a defaced handgun. Give me just a moment, sir. So, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings on this case. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed by the court. You have an attorney, Mr. Marsh, seated next to you for the purpose of this hearing. I am appointing an attorney, sir. It's going to be the public defender to represent you on this matter from this point forward. In order to prepare for this hearing this morning, sir, I did review information provided by the pretrial services, also reviewed the interim complaint, and I see the state's recommendation that requests a $10,000 bond with release to pretrial services in the event that that is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further from the state, sir?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Marsh?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask for pretrial services release in this case. I would ask the court to note that Mr. Espinosa is 18 years old. He scores a 1 on the failure to appear chart. He scores a 2 on the new criminal activity scale. He has absolutely no criminal history of any kind. It looks like pretrial services also looked for some juvie history and didn't find any. I would also ask the court to note that based on the allegations in the interim complaint, Mr. Espinosa makes no statements of ownership with respect to any of the drugs found, nor the gun. While I understand that it is likely concerning to the court that a gun was present when Mr. Espinosa was pulled over, I do think the court has conditions available that will make sure that Mr. Espinosa both shows up to court and avoids getting into trouble in the future. So we're asking for pretrial services release.
March, the court is going to release you, Mr. Espinosa, to the supervision of pretrial services with the following conditions. Mr. Espinosa, you are ordered to possess no firearms or weapons consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so your next hearing, sir, is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on November 5th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You need to stay in contact with your attorney, sir, and you must show up at future court dates on this, because if you do not do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
Your first call to attorney, second call to violence.
All right. Thank you.
Panel. All the way out to for left hand side, ma'am. Have a seat.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Defendant.
Okay. Ms. Fennell, this is your initial appearance, ma'am. You have been arrested on one charge of aggravated shoplifting. You have the right to remain silent, ma'am. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings on this case. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. It's going to be the, just a moment. Going to be the Pima County Public Defender, ma'am. And so for the purpose of this hearing, Mr. Marsh is seated to your left. He's going to help you out this morning. And so in order to prepare for this hearing, ma'am, I have reviewed the information provided by pretrial services. I have also reviewed the interim complaint, and I see that the state is recommending a $5,000 bond with release to pretrial services if that is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further from you, sir?
No, Judge.
And Mr. Marsh.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm requesting pretrial services release for Ms. Fennell. She scores a 1 on both scales. She's 30 years old. Pretrial services was able to track down exactly 0 criminal history. I would also ask the court to note that Ms. Fennell does have young children. It looks like she lives with and cares for. I hope that the court would consider pretrial services release in this case.
Right. Ms. Fennell, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services with certain conditions, okay? The first of which is that you are ordered to possess no firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You must submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You are not to return to any target, the one where this is alleged to have happened, or any target at all. Are you willing to do that, ma'am? Okay. In light of that, I am going to release you to pretrial services. Your next court date, ma'am, is a preliminary hearing. That is on November 5th at 1:30 in the afternoon. It is important that you stay in contact with your attorney and also appear at any and all future court dates, because if you do not appear at those court dates, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Thank you very much. You are excused.
Pretrial services received by Ms. Good to go.
Ivan Ibarra.
Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Ivan Ibarra.
All right, Mr. Ibarra, I've got a couple matters for you. So I am seeing you on one new count alleged to be a felony, alleging shoplifting. And then additionally, I'm seeing you on a failure to appear out of city court concerning a charge of criminal trespass in the 2nd degree. We're going to start with a felony, sir. And so, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am going to appoint the Pima County legal defender to represent you, sir, on this case going forward. Additionally, for the purpose of this hearing, Mr. Marsh, seated to your left, is going to help you out. In order to prepare for this morning's hearing, sir, I have reviewed the information provided by pretrial services. I have reviewed the interim complaint, and I see that the state is recommending a $5,000 bond plus release to pretrial services in the event that that bond is posted. Is there anything further, Mr. Poston?
No, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Marsh.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would request a lower bond in this case in the range of $1,000. I do recognize that Mr. Ibarra scores 6s, but he is 28 years old, and I think that a lot of this behavior is likely driven by his general delivery address. For those reasons, I'm hopeful the court will consider a $1,000 bond to give enough skin in the game to Mr. Ibarra.
Okay, that is what I am going to do. The court is going to impose a $1,000 cash or secured bond, sir. I am going to set your next hearing as a preliminary hearing on the felony case. and that's going to be on October 27th, 2025, 1:30 in the afternoon. Sir, in the event that you are able to post that bond, it's important that you show up at all future court dates. You possess no firearms or weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And if you do find yourself out of custody, you need to comply with pretrial services. One other thing I want to mention, sir, is that if you do find yourself out of custody on your way out of the jail, you may want to take a look at the transition center, which is just around the corner there from the jail. There's actually a blue line on the sidewalk that will take you to where that is. They can help out with it when it relates to certain services and other things that may help you as you transition back into the community after leaving the jail, sir. That is if you can post the bond. Okay, so that takes care of the felony case, sir. I am going to talk to you now about the misdemeanor. And that alleges, as I said earlier, that you committed, you failed to appear concerning certain charges out of city court. And so what I'm going to do on that, sir, is I am going to, well, Mr. Marsh, it's the court's inclination to release him on that case. I don't know if you want to be heard as to that.
I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ibarra, I'm going to release you on that case, sir. And so your next hearing is going to be a it's going to be a non-transport review. And that's going to be on December 12th at 9 o'clock in the morning in front of Judge Clotes.
So will I be retrial, Your Honor?
So I'll talk to you about that in a second, sir. Okay, sir. So you are going to be released on the city court case, but you are being held on that $1,000 bond on the felony case, sir. So what I've done on the city court case is I've set your next hearing for a non-transport review on December 12th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Additionally, sir, on that case, I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you. That case is assigned to Judge Verena, so you will have a hearing in front of her at that time. And additionally, sir, if you find yourself out of custody on that city court case, I'm sorry, if you post the bond on the other case, you're ordered to possess or consume no alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs. And that is it. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
There you go. Get your attorney's office.
Esperanza.
I can take that. I don't. Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Cisco Andres Miranda Zelaya.
Just a moment, sir. Okay, I'm seeing you on 3 new felony cases. The first one involves an incident date of October 1st, 2025, alleging that you possessed a weapon as a prohibited possessor, meaning that you were not legally allowed to have a gun and you had a gun. The next allegation involves a domestic violence aggravated assault allegation from October 14th, so 2 days ago. And the third one involves a robbery allegation from yesterday, along with a criminal damage allegation from yesterday. There's also a couple matters out of city court that we'll talk about in a moment. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these cases can be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings in these cases. If you cannot afford an attorney, one's going to be appointed for you, sir. I am going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. And Mr. Marsh is seated to your left. He's going to help you out this morning for the hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, sir, I've reviewed the information provided by pretrial services. I have also reviewed the interim complaints on the 3 different matters. And it looks like the state is recommending a $10,000 bond on the October, excuse me, $10,000 bond on the October 1st case, a $50,000 bond on the October 14th case, and then a $35,000 bond on the October 15th case, all of which would also include release to pretrial services in the event that that bond is posted. Anything further from the state, Mr. Poston?
No, Judge.
And Mr. Marsh?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll ultimately defer to the court on the bond amounts. Just a few things I would want the court to note. First is that Mr. Miranza Celaya is a lifelong Tucson resident. He has an address in town here with family. I was able to speak with Francisco before the hearing. He does have housing away from the alleged victim in the domestic violence matter. He can live with his uncle Ramon, who does live here in Tucson, if that was on the court's mind. While I recognize the history is likely concerning to the court, Francisco is 29 years old. And given that history, he does score relatively low, lower on the scales. So again, ultimately, I'll defer to the court on bond amounts.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Miranza Celaya, I am going to impose a $40,000 cash or secured bond. That's going to be on all three of the cases. However, it's going to be concurrent. So it's going to be a concurrent bond across all three of the cases. So that is the court's order, sir. And additionally, if you post that bond, sir, and find yourself out of custody, you're ordered to follow the following conditions. You are to possess no firearms or weapons, sir. You are to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You must submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. As it relates to the domestic violence allegation, you may return one time with a police escort to pick up belongings at the residence, if in fact it is a shared residence. Is it a shared residence, the allegation where the location? It is? Okay. So if you need to do that, sir, and you're out of custody, you may do that. However, you must do it with a police escort. Additionally, you are to have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victims. That means no contact at all. And that's whether you are in or out of the jail, sir. You may not contact her from within the jail. You may not contact her from outside of the jail. Additionally, you are ordered not to go back to the victim's residence and or places of work. The public defender is appointed to represent you, sir. And as I said, that's going to be a concurrent bond across all three of those cases. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's on October 27th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And I believe that covers it.
Your Honor mentioned something about perhaps new city court matters as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all the help from all around. Okay, so that covers it for the felonies, but let me get to the misdemeanors. Okay, now on the misdemeanor, sir, you are being seen, as I said earlier, on new charges that allege criminal damage as an act of domestic violence and disorderly conduct alleged to be an act of domestic violence. I am going to hold you on that case as well, sir. I'm going to order a $250 bond on that case, and I'm going to set your next hearing as a just a second. Okay, that's going to be in front of Judge Millian, and that's going to be a video review hearing at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm sorry, 1:30 in the afternoon. So that's October 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon in front of Judge Millian. And in the event that you post the bond, sir, and you find yourself out of custody, additionally on the city court cases, you're alleged to possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, illegal drugs, commit no further acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, have no contact of any time with the alleged victim, who is Miss Salcido, Jennifer Salcido, and you are to return again, not return to her residence or place of work.
What if she takes the charges away? Because that's what she said she was gonna do.
I didn't hear you, sir. What did you say?
I said, what if she said that she was gonna take off the charges?
Oh,
and she
well,
wasn't?
so that's an issue for another day. I mean, for today's sake, I've made the orders that I've made. And so, you know, if she may feel a certain sort of way about this, but that's not before me right now. So, that's all that I have to say about that, sir. One other thing I must tell you is that if you fail to appear on any of these cases, then it's possible that, certainly as it relates to the city court case, that the hearings could go forward without you. And then as it relates to the felony cases, a warrant could issue for your arrest. The same is true of the city court cases. But it's really important, sir, you know, the bottom line, really important to stay in contact with your attorney and also to come to any and all court dates that are in the future, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
So give me a call.
Thank you.
Sonia Pablo?
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
Sonia Pablo.
All right. Miss Pablo, this is your initial appearance. You have been arrested on a new charge that alleges 1 count of robbery. You have the right to remain silent, ma'am. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney on this case. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. You have an attorney seated to your left that's going to help you during this hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, ma'am, I have reviewed the information provided by pretrial services. I have also reviewed the interim complaint and reviewed the state's recommendation, which requests a $7,500 bond plus release to pretrial services in the event that that bond is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further from you, sir?
Your Honor, the state would just note that apparently this person is a apparently well-known shoplifter and this time decided to up the ante using a weapon and threatening the clerk. So there's escalation here that's most concerning.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Poston. Mr. Marsh.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask the court to note that Ms. Pablo is here before the court with no prior felony convictions. She's 34 years old. It does appear that this behavior is likely driven by her general delivery circumstances, which I anticipate is likely concerning to the court. If the court is inclined to impose a bond, we would ask for something lower. $500 seems to be, for a person in Ms. Pablo's circumstances, plenty to ensure her appearance at court if she's able to post anything.
Ms. Pablo, if I let you out this morning, are you willing to follow very specific and important terms and conditions that I'm about to tell you about? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so perhaps most important above all, ma'am, is that you are ordered to possess no firearms or weapons. You're ordered to consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You're going to be released to the supervision of pretrial services, which means you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct you to submit to. You are to have no contact with the alleged victims and not return to Circle K, period. Do not go back to the incident location. Do not return to any Circle K. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you, ma'am. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing, and that's on November 5th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Also, ma'am, I want to let you know that you need to stay in contact with your attorney and also come to any and all future court dates, because if you do not do that, ma'am, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody, okay?
Okay.
That's it. Thank you very much. Have a good morning.
So when you get out of here, follow the blue and then underground the transitions. We might be able to help you with housing. Okay, you're good to go.
Richards, say it.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please tell me your name.
Jose Angel Richards.
Okay, just a second, sir.
Jimenez.
Sir, I'm seeing you on a warrant at Maricopa County that alleges, it concerns case incidents that are alleged to have happened in 2017, I believe, and the warrant issued in 2019. It lists a $1,000 bond amount. So, sir, as it relates to that, this is your initial appearance and you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County, who's counsel? Pima County legal defender to represent you on that, sir. And what I'm going to do is advise that I've reviewed the information provided by pretrial services on this matter. And also I have reviewed, just a second, give the states. Never mind. Yeah. So I've reviewed the information supplied by pretrial services. The amount on the warrant is $1,000. Mr. Marsh, it's the court's inclination to impose that $1,000 amount on the warrant. Is there anything that you would like to be heard on, sir?
I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Richards, there's a $1,000 amount on the warrant. The court is going to order that $1,000 amount. If you post that, sir, you must report to Maricopa County within days. So if you're able to post that bond and you get out of custody, you must report to Maricopa County within 7 days. Additionally, I have said that I'm appointing the legal defender. Okay, never mind. We're actually not going to appoint anyone on this. My apologies on that, but we are going to set a review hearing. And that review hearing is going to be November 17th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's basically just to make sure that one of two things have happened. Either you have reconnected with Maricopa County, either in or out of custody, and they have resumed that case, or we make sure that that happened shortly after the 17th. It's basically a review hearing to make sure that things are moving along with the case and so forth. So that is a court's order, sir. You're going to be held on that $1,000 bond. And if you're still in custody, we'll see you back on the 17th of November at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, sir.
It's going to be here until Maricopa comes to get you. This court date is just to make sure that Maricopa can get you. Okay.
That time to.
Okay. It should be pretty easy to take care of. So they should be coming to get you pretty soon.
But it shouldn't.
So if Maricopa comes to get you,
right,
this hearing won't happen because you'll be in Maricopa. You'll be in Phoenix.
But I don't believe I have a warrant. But
you do. Yeah.
Because
I can see a judge can see it.
I just got cleared for the military.
Okay.
For my son.
So maybe they didn't find it. But at least for today, the information he has is that
Roman Smith.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Follow that. I'm good.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Please tell me your name.
Roman Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith, this is your initial appearance, sir. I am seeing you on one new charge that alleges that you fled from law enforcement, from a pursuing law enforcement vehicle. And additionally, that a couple misdemeanor charges alleging that you committed driving under the influence and also resisting arrest. Both of those are class 1 misdemeanors, sir. So this is your initial appearance and you have the right to remain silent, sir. Anything you say about this case can be used against you. I am appointing the public defender to represent you, sir. And additionally, for the purpose of this hearing, sir, you have Mr. Marsh that's going to help you out this morning. In order to prepare for this hearing, I've reviewed the information provided by pretrial services, reviewed the interim complaint along with the state's recommendation, which is a $2,500 bond with a release to pretrial services in the event that that bond is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Marsh.
Thank you, Judge. I'm requesting pretrial services release for Mr. Smith. He scores a 3 on both scales. He's employed full time. He has a verified address. His girlfriend Alyssa was able to get in touch with pretrial services. She also informed pretrial services that Mr. Smith has 2 young children who he cares for. So for all those reasons, I'm hopeful the court will consider pretrial services release.
Okay, I am going to release you to pretrial services, Mr. Smith. However, there are certain conditions that you must follow while this case is going on. That is that you are to not drive without a valid license. You may possess no firearms or weapons. You may consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You must submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. I've already appointed the public defender to represent you, sir. Your next hearing is a preliminary hearing date on November 5th at 2025, 1:30 in the afternoon. The DUI allegations that are part of this case are very concerning to the court. However, given the relative absence of other criminal history, I'm willing to take a chance on you, sir. But you must not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You must not drive without a valid license. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In light of that, sir, you are excused. But one thing I do want to advise, if I haven't already said this, is that you must attend any and all future court dates, sir. If you fail to do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody. And then there's also a city court matter that I haven't spoken about yet. I almost slipped past it. On that case, sir, I am also going to release you. And specifically, the city court matter that I'm talking about involves that driving under the influence and resisting arrest allegations that I spoke of. And sir, as to that case, I am going to, as I said, release you. Once again, don't drive without a valid license. Don't possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. Your next hearing, sir, is going to be a pretrial date, and that's going to be on November 13th. That is a Friday. That's a Thursday, November 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning in Tucson City Court. You're going to get paperwork that has this information. So please just keep track of it all. And then one final thing that I need to do before I send you on your way, sir, on the misdemeanor charges, this is also the time for your arraignment, sir. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf as it relates to those two DUI, the DUI and the resisting arrest charge. You're presumed innocent, sir. If you fail to appear at the next hearing I've set, that hearing and any other hearings on the case, including trial, could go forward in your absence. If you're convicted at the trial and cannot be sentenced within 90 days of conviction, you may lose your right to an appeal. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just the takeaway from this, just please stay in contact with your attorney. Please make sure you come to future court dates, and remember, no driving without a valid license, no alcohol, illegal drugs. That covers it, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. When you're out of here, your first call's pre-trial, your second call's my witness. Yes, you're good to go. Thank you.
And I believe that covers it. So everyone have a good rest of your morning.
You do the
Good
same,
day.
Your Honor. Thank you. Thanks, Judge, you as well.
Thanks. Bye.